Hey everybody, Deathblade here with another Chinese fantasy novel FAQ. Sorry for taking so long for this update. I feel like the entire time I've ever been making videos on YouTube, I've always been like, and soon I'm gonna start making videos more regularly, and then I never do. So I apologize for that. You know, there's always one reason after another. As you can see, I cut off all my hair. That was kind of one reason. My hair was getting longer and longer and shaggier and just really ugly looking, and I was embarrassed to shoot any videos until I cut it. But anyway, sorry, I digress. Let me get into the topic at hand. We're going to be talking about a term that's pretty common in Chinese, but whose meaning changed in recent years, and depending on whether or not a translator is familiar with that change, could be translated completely incorrectly. Now, let me point out that especially in the novel translation scene, the web literature, long-form series translation scene, a lot of the translators, I would venture to say the majority, are actually not from mainland China. There are some Westerners like me, maybe people who learned Chinese and got into it. There's a lot of people from other places who are perhaps ethnically Chinese or grew up in a place where spoken Chinese is kind of common. And regardless of the level of Chinese, when people who are translating fiction that was written in mainland China, but they aren't actually from mainland China, that can be a problem just because there are sometimes slang terms, internet terms, that they might recognize, and this is one of them. So I'm specifically talking about the characters that would normally be translated as he. So I'll have Madam Deathblade put them up right here. Thank you. And you can kind of see they actually look pretty cool, and it kind of looks like a chuckle. This is basically what you would normally in English, either onomatopoeia, he, or you would use it as some kind of chuckle or laugh, light laugh, maybe kind of more girly or young. Definitely not like a booming, hearty laugh. And so for, when I studied Chinese, that was what I learned these two characters to be, he. However, probably around the time I moved to China, around that time period, maybe it was a little bit before, maybe it was a little bit after. I think it was after I moved to China. Those two characters took on a new meaning. I'm pretty sure like an internet slang kind of way, but a lot of that popular common language gets pulled into the novels. Instead of the characters being meant to represent a chuckle or a laugh or a it took on a different pronunciation that you really can only tell the difference when it's spoken. And that spoken pronunciation is this. Instead of being he, it's hehe. And it is essentially kind of like in English how if somebody said something and you wanted to sarcastically be like acknowledge the statement but not really laugh at it or indicate that you don't really agree with it, you might say, oh, ha ha. It's exactly like that. So I use this all the time when I was back in China as a teacher, because I taught kids ages 3 to upwards of 10 or 11. I didn't necessarily use it on the younger ones, but the like ones who were getting toward the middle school age were familiar with this usage and they loved it. So whenever I would say something to them like, I'm gonna punish you if you don't give the right answer, give me the answer right now, they would be like, hoo. So when you see this in Chinese fantasy novels or any kind of Chinese fiction whatsoever, well, let's put it this way. If a translator who wasn't familiar with that new kind of slang way it's used in mainland saw that in a novel, they might just translate it as he or a chuckle of some sort, when in fact it's supposed to be sarcastic. So for me personally, whenever I came across it, after realizing what it was, I would usually say something along the lines of the character chuckled sarcastically or something along those lines. But again, it started getting popularized. I think it may have been after I started translating I Shall Seal the Heavens. There may even be some spots in the early chapters of I Shall Seal the Heavens where I interpreted it incorrectly. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, because I feel like it was after that I sort of realized what it was and started using it in my spoken Chinese, especially when I was teaching. So if you ever are reading a novel, series, and you come across a part where one of the characters says he, take a look at the context and see if in fact that character seems like they would be reacting in a sarcastic way, because in the written form, there's literally no way to tell the difference in Chinese, but usually you can tell from the context. And if it's a context where the character probably is responding in a sarcastic way or saying, I don't agree with you, then it's going to be pronounced hehe with a very dry and sort of like eye-rolling expression. So that's it for this video. I know it was pretty short. I do have a few kind of random updates. This is my original novel, Legends of Ogregate, which I've talked about a few times right here. You can get it in the video description below. If you happen to watch this video right when it comes out, this coming Saturday, that's October 19, 2019. This Saturday, 12 to 3, I'm going to be at the Mysterious Galaxy bookstore here in San Diego. It's a local independent bookstore. There's a local author meet and greet. So me and a handful of other local authors are going to be there to kind of talk about our books and whatever other questions people might have. So if you are in the San Diego area, please swing by. If you like these videos, please do like and subscribe. And you all know about the notification bell thing. You can hit that to get notifications. If you want to support me, also you can check out the links in the video description. I have links to a variety of things that you can use to support me, and that's very much appreciated. Right now, I am preparing to go on a trip back to China, and we don't have plane tickets yet, but it's probably going to be sometime in early 2020, early next year. And since my main work is translating, I have to prepare for that trip in terms of the translation. I don't like to take breaks from my work. I like to post the chapters every single day, twice a day. And so when I'm traveling, it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to actually translate. I'm not 100% certain how much, if any, I'll be able to do. So what I'm planning to do is build up a huge stockpile of chapters so that, if I can't translate, at least I can have them ready to be edited. So I'm not going to edit them. And there's a lot of work that goes into editing them, by the way. But the point is, over the course of the next couple months, I'm going to be really busting my butt to create a big stockpile of chapters. I'm going to be really busy. I'm translating way more than I normally do, which I first didn't think was possible. But every time I try to push through those limits, I break through them. I reach a higher level, just like in the cultivation novels. But the point is that over the course of the next couple months, I really have no idea how it's going to be in terms of recording videos. I still got a long list of stuff that I want to talk about. But again, it's the whole process of setting up the camera, preparing, doing any research, because a lot of these topics I want to do, I need to do a little research. It's just hard to do when I'm so mentally focused on the translating, and then at the end of the day, so mentally drained from reading and typing and translating that many Chinese characters. So that's a little disclaimer for the upcoming months. If you have any suggestions for videos that you would like to see about Chinese fantasy novels, please do. Leave a comment, and I'll take that into consideration and add it to that big list that I have of things to talk about. Alrighty, that's it for this video. I'll see you next time. God's love.